It is no secret that the car market is falling. Car demand just isn't where it was 3 years ago, and despite the fact that interest rates are falling, car demand just still isn't there, and as a result, cars are sitting on dealership lots for a long time. In fact, some cars are sitting on dealership lots for so long that dealerships are marking them down left and right, and by a significant amount. And so in this video, I'm going to be revealing some of the different dealerships, makes, and models that have marked down their vehicles by the most amounts because of the fact that these cars are most likely not selling. That way, if you're looking for a car, you know which cars you can no doubt get a below MSRP price for. So let's dig in. Now keep in mind that as of right now, according to Cox Automotive, the average dealership has 77 days supply for their vehicles on their lot. This equates to about 2.84 million units of total inventory as of September of this year. This is already a huge increase from what we saw this time last year, which was 2.21 million units of inventory and 60-day supply. And believe it or not, with this larger inventory, the average listing price is already down from $47,313 last year to $46,841 this year. But it seems as though even with that lower average listing price, vehicles still just aren't being sold. So the first and truthfully the most obvious example of below MSRP pricing off brand new vehicles is trucks. Trucks have had a tough 2024. In fact, trucks pretty much across the board have seen sales declines in the first half of 2024. And we're seeing this in the prices of trucks across the market as a whole, across different makes, models, trim levels. Trucks are getting discounted left and right. In fact, when it comes to trucks, it isn't a matter of if trucks are being marked down, it is simply a matter of by how much. Under the Ford nameplate, we have everything from a Ford F-150 Lariat with 2 miles on it that's marked down $12,000 below MSRP, from a F-150 STX with 7 miles that's marked down $9,000 below MSRP, even brand new 2024 Raptors you can find below MSRP. But of course, Ford isn't the only automaker that's marking down their truck. We have trucks that are marked down from a variety of different automakers, like Toyota, who has marked down their brand new generation Tacoma all the way to their Toyota Tundra, Chevy and the Chevy Silverado, and of course Ram, which has marked down basically everything. Trucks, pretty much no matter how you slice it, they are selling for pretty well below MSRP. The next car that I want to talk about actually isn't a car at all. Instead, it's an umbrella, and that's Stellantis. Now, I have been talking about Stellantis a lot lately because the truth is they're a hot mess. And the mess that is Stellantis is being reflected in their pricing. Because across the Stellantis umbrella, with nearly every single make and model in their lineup, they have inventory piling up left and right, and they are marking down their vehicles significantly. For example, Maserati, who's pricing everything below MSRP, from their SUVs to their hot newish supercars. Alfa Romeo, who has $5,000 markdowns on numerous cars. Even brands that are wildly loved, respected, and in many regards are considered classic American brands, they are also having trouble being sold, like Jeep. Jeep has a variety of markdowns, but the most significant ones are coming from the Grand Cherokee and the Wrangler. And we all know from what I mentioned earlier that a variety of different truck brands also under the Stellantis umbrella are being marked down, as are Dodge products and Chrysler as well. Definitely not a good look. Lincoln is next, and they are another brand that has had consistent high inventory for the better part of 2024. From the Navigator to their newly refreshed Nautilus, as well as everything in between, Lincolns are for the most part selling for a steep discount. In fact, I would go as far as to say that if your local Lincoln or Ford dealership is not marking down their Lincoln vehicles below MSRP, well, you shouldn't buy from them and you should look for a Lincoln elsewhere, because there are a ton of below MSRP Lincolns available throughout the country. And this is true with not only their older, more outdated models that haven't had a recent refresh, which are seeing significant discounts, but it's even true with their newly refreshed models like the Nautilus that I mentioned earlier. And while they are giving less discounts on these newly refreshed vehicles, they are giving them. So regardless of what type of Lincoln you want to buy, ask for a discount. Now, we already talked about Ford in the context of Ford trucks, which are getting marked down significantly. But below MSRP markdowns isn't a thing that we're only seeing with Ford trucks. We are again seeing it across most of the Ford lineup. But there are some models that are seeing more discounts than others. For example, the 2024 Ford Escape is seeing a 5-figure discount off MSRP. Your standard Ford Bronco is also seeing a huge discount. But some of Ford's biggest discounts are coming from their most expensive vehicles, with the most alarming and the most extreme example coming from cars like the Ford Bronco Raptor, which is Ford's creme de la creme off-roading vehicle for the Bronco lineup. They also have their Raptor lineup for things like the Maverick and the F-150. And whenever you look at the price tag of the Bronco Raptor, it is very easy to understand why these cars aren't selling and why dealerships are having to discount them by so much. Because even with discounts, these cars are just too damn expensive. Like this one, which has only 9 miles on it and is priced at over $15,000 below MSRP, or this one, which is priced $17,000 below MSRP. Sure, it's a discount, but this car is still very, very expensive. And this is sort of a trend that I've been noticing across the car market for the better part of this year. And that trend is that these automakers that are considered to be normal, everyday automakers, think Chevy, Ford, Toyota, Jeep, these automakers come out with very expensive, high trim variants of their cars, whether it's an offshoot brand, like for example, Wagoneer is to Jeep or Lincoln is to Ford, or if it's a just standalone model that they've made very expensive, very high trim, like the Bronco Raptor is to Ford. These automakers are veering into very, very expensive territory, and these cars just aren't selling. As a result, they are sitting and piling up on dealership lots, and as a result of this, you can find these cars for really steep discounts. Like the Grand Wagoneer, this stupidly expensive Jeep Wrangler Rubicon, the Cadillac Escalade, or the variety of other models and trim levels that come from these very normal everyday brands that are nearing or in some cases exceeding 6 figures. I guess not exceeding 6 figures, but at least reaching 6 figures. I mean, spending something like $100,000 to $120,000 for a Jeep is something that I truthfully will never understand. Even Toyota, a brand that has low inventory, especially compared to some of these other automakers that we mentioned throughout this video, they are also having trouble selling their most expensive cars. For example, this Toyota Sequoia TRD Pro, which is heavily discounted. The point of this video is that automakers pretty much across the board, but especially so with their most expensive cars, are discounting their cars left and right. And even then, it doesn't seem as though these discounts are doing enough because the cars that have $10,000 or $20,000 discounts still really aren't selling. And they're sitting on platforms like cars.com and sitting on dealership lots for an extended period of time. And these are 2024 models, and 2025 models are quickly entering dealership lots as well, which means that these 2024 models are going to have to get an even steeper discount in order to be sold, which means that dealerships really have two choices. They either need to make their car prices even lower, or they have to accept the fact that their cars are going to continue piling up. But either way, it definitely doesn't look good for dealerships. Like always, you guys, I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, comments, if you have anything to add, I would love to hear it, so make sure to leave a comment down below. And while you guys are at it, make sure to hit the like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit the notification bell, and I will see you guys in the next video.